I love Mike Elko. You guys know that. I'm big believer in what he's done.
Hello, everyone. TexAgs Rewind here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Dalton Cry.
Big game 2 tonight in Dallas. That's what we're all here to talk about, right?
Billy loves when you tweet about the Stars, and when I tweet about Real Madrid, he loves that stuff.
He no longer has any more bearing over my social media.
Last day.
King of the castle, king of the castle. I have a Twitter.
Here it comes.
Last day, Hughes. Good day?
Yeah, man. Great day.
Yeah.
Good career?
I don't know. You're the judge of that, not me.
Of course you did.
It was
7 years.
It's kind of crazy.
You know,
I
7
survived.
years of bad luck. Little did we know it was going to come in the form of Dalton.
Yeah.
It's like when we start calling you the broken mirror.
You're the one who filmed the 1939 championship banner yesterday after
I'm
lunch.
trying to reverse the mojo, dude.
We need to reverse the curse.
Time marches on.
I would love nothing more than if I walked out of here and they won a national championship.
God, that would be the best trade ever.
Y'all could blame it on me. That's fine.
Yeah, we would do that.
They'll probably win one in baseball.
Yeah, the timing. You're leaving right before.
Well, in fairness, right when Gabe left after like however many years of doing the show and being the baseball lover he is,
they went to
literally
Omaha.
like a month later, right? What was it? Whatever it was, they were in Omaha. Was that then?
No. It was a month later they hired Schloss.
The day he left, he told me they hired Schloss.
He got
I think
he did the.
He got to talk about it on radio.
I think it was literally the day.
But it was
he
his
left.
last week.
Yeah,
because I had left for Mexico.
The day he left, they hired Slosh, and then the
next
very first year
season,
they
go
went.
to Omaha.
They signed the #1 class a month later, and then Slosh took them to Omaha.
Well,
so hopefully you have a similar.
Whatever they do, just make a cup out of it.
Can I just interrupt? I came here thinking that was going to be the future, and we had 8-4, 5-7, 7-5. So I don't know. Like
we're on the come up. This year will be great.
Nuno went from the rag dog Texans, the worst era in Houston history.
Astros.
Well, he had bad football and winning baseball.
Nuno was fooled by James Harden and Chris Paul too. You know, he thought that was the solution.
You know me better than that. I never was on board on that.
He says he likes Draymond Green, but he hates James Harden. I've heard that.
And I'm a Dirk guy. I'm a Mavs guy. So.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I'm with you.
What do we got on the rewind today?
On the rewind today, it's Stephen McGee joined us to talk a little bit about Dalton Hughes.
About one person.
Schloss. I mean, come on. That's the guy we're honoring here right now. Schloss.
Dalton Hughes.
AT, fan show, and this guy. We honor this guy here on the program. It's the Rewind. Check it. I asked the question, is A&M the biggest mystery in the SEC? Mm-hmm. And I'm not expecting you to know every roster out there, but they are a mystery, aren't they? Because there's a lot of reasons to believe in them, but there's a lot of reasons to be like, I don't know just yet.
Yeah, I don't want to go all in. I love Mike Elko. You guys know that. I'm big believer in what he's done, the transformation of the type of people that he wants to be on the football team, both coaching staff and guys that are out there and the team is depending upon. I'm all in. My biggest question mark is overall ability of that roster. And I think the portal haul was huge, getting guys like Nick Squirton that can make a huge difference. But is it the amount of ability that we had maybe 2 years ago? I don't know if I would agree with that. But I think that compared to previous teams, they're going to get way more out of that ability. And that's what has me bullish. So, yeah, good quarterback, but he's got a lot to prove. Wide receivers are a question mark still. Mm-hmm. Can Noah Thomas stay healthy? He was obviously a bright spot, but is there a true game changer? I don't know. Running backs look really talented. Offensive line is a big question mark. Defense, I think, have you come out of the spring feeling best about the improvements made? I mean.
So here's, when you talk about the concerns of the team, how do you replace Anaya Smith? How do you replace Edgerrin Cooper? Right? Those are like on each side of the ball, those are like the heartbeats of what they do. Torian York could very easily slide into that. I mean, he's already a leader. Obviously, he's a captain, right? But there's questions for sure. You got questions at the offensive line. You got questions at the wide receiver group and DBs. Even though I think they're going to be better, it's still a question.
Yeah, the DBs for me, right? Corner. How many games do you feel like we just like Ole Miss last year? That receiver they have just had an unbelievable game. Not every time we weren't out of position, but good gosh, just having guys that can compete and force quarterbacks to go a different direction in single high coverage. It's a big deal.
What problems does Ole Miss present?
They have really good pitching. I watched. They played 14, 15 innings last night. it kept me up. And so I'm watching guys throwing 95, 97 with just power, old school LSU breaking balls. Coach Bianco played at LSU and coached LSU for such a long time. So their pitching's better than their numbers indicate. And then, they have a great player who I'm not sure is coming back to a kid named Leger, Ethan Leger, right-handed hitter who broke his thumb against Mississippi State. He may or may not play this weekend. That's an impact to their lineup. But Andrew Fisher, the transfer from Duke, is up to almost 20 homers now, and you have to be mindful of him in the lineup and make sure that you don't load the bases or have him hitting where he can do big damage.
We know the atmosphere in Baton Rouge was crazy. How do you expect the atmosphere this week?
I don't know. Normally it's awesome. Ole Miss is one of the great places to play in the country. It's graduation weekend. It's a tough hotel for us to find. Their team hasn't had this season to this point as expected, but so I don't know if the fans will show up because it's graduation weekend. There's a lot of people there to encourage their team, or if there's going to be other things going on. But I expect it to be really good.
Bronny was mentioning the north wind there that could affect some of the power.
Yeah, it's going to be like high of 70. Like tomorrow night's game is supposed to be in the 50s. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, I got to pack your jacket and sweat and long sleeves. But it looks like it's out of the north. I'm assuming that blows in or across the field. One day is like 5 to 10, so it shouldn't be too tough. But it's certainly not going to be like it was, like it normally is here or most places where you get the south wind and the ball you get but you don't really get carries out of the ballpark. So I'm sure it'll have an impact in the game.
Yeah. Let's get into Aggie football. So we talked about like what would make you happy. Well, ceiling, most wins, and also their bottom. Andy Staples was on On3's show. Well, he is their host. And he thinks this team could potentially, ceiling, playoff team, 10-win season. Bottom, I believe he had them at 5-7, if I remember correctly, 5-7. So what is the ceiling and the bottom? Philip.
Yeah, I'm actually right there. I was looking at the schedule. I think 6 is probably the bottom. So, but I'm an Aggie, so got a little bit of optimism. And then I think 10 is definitely in the question, and winning a few in the playoffs would be really nice too.
That'd be great.
I mean, you still look at our roster and it's still loaded with talent. There's a lot of really good football players across the street.
But there are question marks.
There's a lot of question marks. I agree. But at the same time, you're the new regime, different. I'm going to say our bottom is 7 wins. I'm going to say our bottom is 7 wins. I think that a 7-5 season is worst case scenario. I do. I really think that. And now, again, I'm Mr. Optimism a lot of times, but our ceiling, I don't know. We could win 10 games. We could be a playoff team this year.
But when we talk about those question marks, what are the big question marks? Is quarterback a question mark? Even though I think we all believe in Connor Wigman. We haven't seen it for a full season, though, right?
Not only Connor Wigman, but those other two are really good too. So,
okay, offensive line question mark.
That's the question mark.
Yeah,
that's it. I think it all boils down to that group.
Wide receiver group question mark.
Not really.
No.
You don't have Anaya Smith anymore.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah.
We got Noah Thomas.
It's got to be the offensive
We got Moose. We got Moose.
Both of those guys have played limited amounts, and there's been injuries or other situations keeping them out. Sure. None of them have played a full season. Ja'Day Walker's played more snaps at least last year than those guys.
I mean, wide receiver though. I mean, wide receiver's not as. I mean, speaking of Tom Brady never had a good receiving core outside of the Randy Moss years. So
you're talking about the greatest quarterback of all time. Okay.
Yeah, but the other years, I mean, he never. Yeah. But that team never won a Super Bowl when he had
Randy Moss. Yeah.
So. Again, it all boils to football is especially in the SEC is a game of the trenches, and I'm not worried about our defensive line. I'm worried about the O-line.
Okay, you're worried about the O-line. Are you worried at all about the backfield?
Not the backfield. Secondary would be my second question mark.
It's crazy. Like when you start like wrapping your head around. I know Zipper decided to make fun of the post yesterday, but it was kind of fun realizing like how much stuff we've done in the last 7 years.
Oh, I haven't even looked at it yet.
Just of events, and I put it in the post. Like the pandemic as a whole was like crazy. Everyone else stopped working, and we were still here every day. Same thing.
Yeah.
A lot of fun, a lot of bad jokes, a lot of yelling at each other via Zoom. If you think the the culture of this office of yelling at each other and having fun is great in the office, which it is. When everyone's on Zoom, it's taken to another level.
Yeah, we probably got some good highlights.
There's one in there of me talking to you about your oven.
Oh yeah,
With me,
It
you, and
keeps
Hunter.
beeping.
It just keeps beeping for an entire show. But
I wouldn't go do it because Dalton suggested it.
Yeah, it just made a
This thing's
bad
gonna
idea.
beep for 45 minutes.
But yeah, and then like all the shows with Griffin barking in the back during
Who
the
are you gonna
pandemic.
miss more, me or Griff?
Griff, 100%. Like,
Fair. That's fair.
I mean, that dog is. That's funny. That's when I guess you could say I knew I made it at TexAgs when Billy let me babysit Griff.
Well,
Dalton, tell the people one last time what to do.
oh man, this is tough.
So email
This is
me,
tough.
dalton.hughes
Isn't this
at
tough? This is it.
carpet1dfw.com.
This is your last. This is your.
I would love to
this
sell
is
you
it,
some
dude.
flooring for your
all
home.
these years.
Help me support my
Wait,
family.
wait. Say that again. I didn't know this.
You
was
cut him off
serious.
completely.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say dalton.hughes at carpet1dfw.com. Help me feed my family.
That's going to cost you a sponsorship fee, but no problem. That's
Yeah.
we'll do it for you.
How much? We'll dock it out of
Yeah.
the paycheck.
I get a little cut. Tell the people what to do, though. Be all
Like, subscribe, comment, share, review.
And buy carpet.
Send it to your grandmother.
Who does carpet anymore anyway? I've been told
wood.
I've been told to get all the carpet out of my house.
Luxury vinyl plank. I'll help you out.
Okay. No, you just got a client.
Yeah, there you go.
Boom.
Talk to y'all later.
Bye.